4682 or stop by the office at 409 South Main. Shelter Insurance, wear your shield, wear your shelter. The matter of whether contractor license fees are increasing or decreasing brought about some vigorous discussion during the Ottawa City Commission study session. Members of the community development staff said that some fees would be reduced, but at one point, Commissioner Eric Crowley asked Charlotte Newkirk and Department Director Wendy Lee to explain where the fees were being reduced.
It's still $20. Right. So the only reduced rate that you're talking about is multiple contractor licensing.
Okay, paragraph that we clarified.
It's like a company that has a Class A, an electrical, and a plumber, a master electrician, and a master plumber. Okay, so they're going to pay the $225. Then they're going to pay $75 for the electrical company, and $75 for the plumbing company, and then $20 and $20.
The contractor licensing fees are being reworked so that companies rather than individuals are licensed. The matter is expected to come up again at next week's commission study session. An investigation is being conducted into an allegation of voter fraud against Kansas 2nd District Congressman Steve Watkins on reports that Watkins listed his address as a UPS store in Topeka. Kansas News Service Danielle Norwood has more.
Watkins listed his official residence as 6021 Southwest 29th Street in Topeka, a UPS store, when he signed a form to change his residency for voter registration purposes in August, signed an application for a mail-in ballot in October, and signed a document to complete advance voting for the November election. Shawnee County District Attorney Mike Kage said that he's requested that local law enforcement investigate the matter.
One of the races on Watkins' ballot was the Topeka City Council District 8 race, which was decided by just 13 votes. Stick around. We're just a few moments away from the Braves Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. KOFO's Bob Johnson will be talking with the OU men's basketball coach Aaron Siebenthal and the Lady Brave head coach Bruce Tate. That's just moments away on KOFO. The exclusive KOFO Weather Center forecast: tonight mostly cloudy, the low down to 34. Tomorrow mostly cloudy early, then sunshine with a high of 54. I'm Don Elliott, KOFO News.
Stay tuned for the following special presentation from KOFO 1220 and 103.7 FM. KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to this edition of Hoop Talk, live from the KOFO studios at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa. Hoop Talk is our weekly chat with Ottawa University head basketball coaches Aaron Siebenthal and Bruce Tate, and it's brought to you by Pizza Time, Ottawa University, and State Farm agent Keith King. You're invited to join us during the show for food and drink specials and your chance to win a free large pizza from Pizza Time. Now let's join your host for KOFO's Hoop Talk, Bob Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the final Hoop Talk of the 2019 portion of the basketball season, as we get ready to wind down and then take a little hiatus. I look like a bear, so I'm going to go into hibernation for a couple of weeks. And then when we come back, it'll be time for that second half of the KCAC schedule. And right now, especially on the men's side, it's been an exciting start as the men have opened up on fire. And, of course, coming off a big victory last night, 98-86 over Tabor College. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. As joining us is assistant head coach, Mr. Phil McClintock, the Hall of Famer, the man, the myth, the legend. When do you get your plaque? Or have you already got your plaque?
I actually was just notified I'm going into the Hall of Fame. It's probably been a month ago, and so officially, and so I'm not. I think it's the 2021 year whenever I get inducted.
Wow! So we're breaking some news here, because. A little bit of humor turns into the truth.
There you go. That actually happened. Yeah, no problem.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. That's as an alum and being part of some nice runs, really some of the best runs of Braves basketball teams. It's got to be a complete honor.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you knew. So I'm not trying to announce anything or toot my own horn, but yeah, me and actually, I'm not going to call everybody out that's getting inducted, but David Birch is also going in. So me and him are going in together and talk about, our runs and everything. We played together and are still best friends. I was in his wedding this summer, and so, it'll be definitely a special time.
That is that's outstanding because when you think about those teams, I mean, you're always thinking of Birch, yourself, Matt Green. Oh gosh, who else? Clint Bones.
Yeah,
There's a lot of guys, and that's going to be great to have you guys in that Hall of Fame, and well deserved.
Yeah, there's a million guys. Coach Carrier, Coach C was there. Everybody that contributed to it. So that's definitely not just us, but it's nice to have an honor, and hopefully a lot of those guys will be back when that happens in 2021. And so, pretty cool.
So have you already picked out your photo for the plaque, what it's going to look like?
I don't even know that I have a say in that. I'm assuming that's going to happen in the next couple years before everything goes down, I guess. So I don't know.
You know, so that's outstanding, and I'm happy that we were able to mention that here. It's not every day we get a scoop, so
yeah, for sure.
So fantastic
Definitely.
news.
Yep.
Also fantastic news. You guys had a nice win last night, with fourth in a row, and continue to rank number 10 in the nation right now.
Yep.
Just that one loss in conference. And one of the themes over the last couple of games, though, has been coming back from behind. And is there anything in particular with maybe just a slow start, or that's caused that, or is there anything in particular you guys can put your finger on?
I don't think so. I think a lot of it's, as a player I dealt with, you're the number 1 team in conference currently and number 10 team in the nation. You're going to get everybody's best shot. And I think that we need to understand that, and hopefully, the last couple games have been a wake-up call to where, hey, it's not going to come easy no matter who we're playing. It's going to be tough, and you can't just get up against the top teams, the number 2 and 3 teams in conference. You have to play against everybody because they're coming after you. And so I think that's a big part of it.
And had another big night from Daryl Bowie, 28 off the bench, and then you had 5 in double figures, which is incredible. Mason McDowell had 18, Jaquan Daniels with 17. Haskins and Patrick, just over into double figures, and you've got some pieces there where it doesn't have to be just one guy.
Yeah, that's something that's special about this team. That maybe we have an advantage over some teams in our league, is that we spread the ball around, and there's different guys on different nights, and it's kind of, I think, saves us from letdown whenever a guy has an off night. It doesn't matter because we have other guys that can pick them up, and a lot of our. You talk about Mason and Daryl, they come off the bench, right now, and those guys are 2 of our leading scorers. And so it just doesn't matter, and you never know where we're going to get it from. And the great thing is the guys don't necessarily care either. So.
Well, and it's also good to know that you've got players that you can pull off the bench who are accepting of those roles and will put in the positive minutes. I mean, well, Daryl had 29 last night. That's nothing to sneeze at, and Mason with 23. And not only that, they were very productive minutes.
Yeah, they were, and they, I think a couple games ago, Daryl had 25 points in 19 minutes or something crazy. So I mean, these guys can go off, and our up-tempo style of play helps. And so I mean, when they get rolling, they can score in bunches, and our rotation it changes a little bit, but it's pretty set, and guys know that when they're out there, they need to play hard because we go 9 deep, and so you're not going to be playing 40 minutes a game. You're going to be splitting time. So, well,
and I have to ask, how does someone go 11-11 from the free throw line? That is fantastic. I mean,
sure.
Of course, you're at your home arena, but still to have that kind of focus, 11-11.
Yeah, that's impressive, and to be able to get there, they called a lot of fouls and a lot of blocks and hand checks last night, and so which is fine because Daryl does a great job of drawing contact on the drive. So I mean, credit him for drawing the fouls, and then going 11-11 is always anything over 10 in a row is really tough. So that's impressive.
So I got to know then, if you're watching how the refs are calling the game, do you guys talk amongst yourself as coaches to try to make adjustments, maybe to take advantage of that?
Yeah, you can call certain plays. A lot of it, I think, is talking to your players and saying, hey, if you're in the 1-on-1 and it's early in the half, if you're settling for threes, you're letting the other team off. So hey, you got to know it's drive to the hole, get to the free throw line, get the easy ones.
Well, and I think the impressive part is. Yeah, even though Tabor ended up with 86 last night, it was really the majority of those points from 2 players, and it just didn't have a lot of support. So the defense did a pretty good job of trying to keep everybody in check.
We did. We did a solid job. They had Tyler Zinn is a really good scorer for them, and he kind of got off early. And then we kind of turned up the pressure and turned up our intensity defensively. And when we do that, I think that we're really hard to beat, because when we're locked in, and we did that for an extended period at Avila too. And so when we're locked in, we're tough. And so we just got to be able to do that for 40 minutes.
And of course, forcing 22 turnovers and only giving it up 10 times certainly does not hurt either.
No, that didn't hurt. That's been kind of our thing, you know. I think we had 22 assists last night, and I mean we share it, and our assist to turnover ratio is one of the best in the nation, and that's one thing we try to do.
Well, and you bring that up, 22 assists. I'm trying to think of when's the last time a Braves men's team has had 22 assists in one game.
We've had some this year. We've had some 20 assist games. Usually, I mean, obviously we haven't lost a ton this year, but usually when a team has over 20 assists, they usually win, because that means you're scoring a lot of points. And so that's one of our things we talk about. Hey, let's, you know, I think we only had 7 at half. We were like 7-5 assist turnover ratio, and so that means you had 15 in the second half, and that's why you win there.
We're going to take our first break of the night here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the game coming up on Saturday, as the final game there will be one game after this one, but it's a non-conference game at Haskell on the 30th. But the final conference game is on Saturday in Nebraska, so we'll talk about that when we come back. Plus, we're going to also see what's on the Braves basketball team's Christmas list when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
Let's face it, auto insurance can be confusing. Do you know your comprehensive from your collision, your no fault from liability, your premium from your deductible? After an accident is no time to find out that your definition of full coverage is actually different from what your policy says. Let local State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King explain auto insurance in terms you can understand.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa, or visit online at keithking.net.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you curl up on the couch in a fetal position and cry at cheesy movies, even though you've seen them 1,000 times and have all the lines memorized.
You and me, and also you with me, and you and I.
The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the tear-filled comfort zone you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
From ooh to aww. Whatever reaction you're looking for this holiday, spread more joy with holiday cards, calendars, and photo gifts from Vistaprint. And now you can get up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars at Vistaprint.com. Discover cards in the latest trends, or fill a calendar with your favorite photos. So make more merry at Vistaprint.com with up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars. Plus great deals on photo gifts. Just enter code HOLIDAY50 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com. Code HOLIDAY50.
We're back live at Pizza Time. We'll be here till the top of the hour when we'll join ABC News, and then a local news update, getting you all caught up on everything going on around the world and locally. As we continue to talk about Ottawa University Braves basketball, the men's team getting set for its final conference game of the 2019-2020 season. 12-1 on the year, 7-1 in conference, and they've won 4 in a row. They're ranked number 10 in the nation, and if you have not been out to see this team, you're going to have plenty of opportunities come the new year because the backside of the schedule is loaded with a lot of home games.
Yeah, we can't wait to be at home. I feel like we've been on the road a lot, and we have our longest road trip to York, and luckily it's after finals, so it's kind of good timing for us. But we've been road warriors, battling and winning, so that's can't complain. But I feel like we play better at home mostly, and we shoot better at home. So I can't wait till that part of the schedule comes along.
So if I remember correctly, you guys are actually leaving a day earlier. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the first time we've done this to York since they've joined the conference. So we're gonna leave Friday just because finals are over, and we play a 1 and 3 o'clock tips on Saturday. So it'll be early games, and our guys can't complain about having bus legs, charter bus legs, and that's why we lost. So
yeah, and that it can, in some ways, yeah, it's an excuse, but also, well, as everyone knows, you get it right on that charter bus for a long period of time. It's tough to get off that bus and get yourself up and ready to go.
It is, and they've been good, and so it's definitely been tough, and for a lot of reasons. But that's a contributing factor. So we made sure this year with the timing that hey, there's no excuses there. So let's go up there and try to get a win.
We're talking with assistant men's coach Phil McClintock here, and what is one thing that York brings to the table that this team is really going to have to keep an eye on?
They're athletic, they shoot it really well, and they play really well at home. I don't think since I've played up there last 3 years, we haven't won up there, and there's a lot of teams that could probably say that because they're good and they are very good at home. So,
what's the atmosphere like in York for people who haven't been there and experienced it?
It's really good. They have their baseball team. They have a bunch of their athletic teams come and support it, and they always have a great crowd and a lot of support there. So it's a good environment, and so I think that's one of the reasons they're better at home than they are on the road, or at least they're tougher to play at home just because they have a good crowd.
Has that been the message that you guys have been given to your team, especially with a couple of slow starts here recently?
We haven't talked about it a ton. We talk about playing 40 minutes, and we haven't talked about going on the road or anything different than we have, because usually when you're rolling, you just let it roll. So at least that's our motto.
So with this game coming up, of course, you want to finish on a positive note and keep yourself in that top 10 ranking. What will the Braves have to do on Saturday to get this victory?
I think we're going to have to shoot the ball well. We've gone through a couple games. We talk about slow starts where we haven't shot it quite as well as we have in the past, and that's one thing that we shoot a lot of threes and kind of run and gun a little bit. And if you don't shoot it well, sometimes you struggle. And so I think that's the biggest thing. We got to shoot it well, and we have to bring the defensive intensity, from the get-go and for 40 minutes.
And with that intensity, hopefully comes a victory. And of course, we mentioned 4 in a row, and Friends, Avila, Tabor, 3 of those games, and in those games, you guys have, 2 of those, you almost hit the century mark. Tough one with Avila, but a come from behind victory on that one. Mm-hmm. And of course, with this York game. So, as it would not be my due diligence as the host of this program if I did not ask what this Braves basketball team would like from Santa this year.
Well, I think a lot of them might get coal.
Oh.
So, yeah, we got some guys, that probably don't deserve presents. So, I think the ones that do, they probably want a break. I think that's their biggest thing. We're rolling. They love each other, but it's from school, basketball. The week off after Saturday, obviously, not before, I think is going to be good for everybody.
So would it be safe to say also that maybe to come back with that same intensity and fire that they've had so far, and maybe that's maybe a stocking stuffer for this program?
Oh, I think that's a great stocking stuffer. I think that you're right. You hit the hammer on the nail there.
Is there any concern with the break coming up that maybe things slip a little?
I don't know, slipping. I do think there's a concern. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but when you're rolling, you kind of want to keep rolling. But we obviously, I wouldn't change it and say, hey, you know, take a couple losses so we're not rolling into break. And so I think that's kind of a challenge that I'm willing to take on. Hey, you know, you're winning a bunch of games, and can you keep it going? Let's take that challenge on.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not sure how much I buy into there being good losses, quote unquote. How about you guys as a coaching staff?
I'd like to win every game, so I don't think a good loss is a thing. I think you know, having to come back is a good, you know, good experience for our guys. I think if we were blowing everybody out by 30 and thinking we're really good, I don't think that's probably the best. So I think close games and learning how to win close games is good. So would you say maybe it's an early presence that the team has had to go through some of this adversity and they've come through, which should bode well down the line here? I think that is a nice early present, because there's been a lot of, you know, behind the scenes stuff that this team has gone through, but they've gone through it together. And so that's this team. They love each other. They play with each other, play for each other, and so that is a nice early present. What is it about this year's team that is different from others? It really, not that there hasn't been chemistry with other teams or that members haven't gotten along, but this feels and seems different this year. Yeah, Coach Sieb has mentioned it a couple times that he feels like it's a reminder to our teams whenever I was playing back in 08, 09, our good teams. Our team this year genuinely enjoys being around each other, which in this day and age in sports and teams, you can ask any coach out there, is not the norm. It is an exception, which is great. And they do, and the things that I could tell a bunch of stories. They genuinely want to do the right thing. They care about each other, like playing with each other, and they are excited for each other when, you know, others have success. And that's hard to find these days. So how hard is it going out to recruit those type of players? Because, I mean, you get a little bit of window dressing with the video. You kind of get some face-to-face meetings, but you never really know till they show up. Is it real difficult to try to find those players? Yeah, it is. It's you know, I can't say that it was like, you know, we knew exactly that was what we were getting. It's kind of, you know, with programs, you kind of get lucky sometimes maybe that, hey, the chemistry, it's not always going to build. And we do things to build chemistry, so it's not like it's completely out of the blue. But, I mean, the chemistry that this team has been very natural, and we've been very lucky that they have that kind of chemistry. And I'm sure it makes it easy as coaches to be able to coach players like that then. It is. We love them. We love these guys. And, you know, talk about going on break and being excited for it. I've been way more excited in past years going on break with other teams. And so, no offense to them, but this team is just, we enjoy them. And that's something to be said for the quality of player that is on this squad. And it bodes well. I mean, God, doesn't seem to be an easy game in this conference when it comes right down to it. Sure. And for them to, right now, just walk away, of course, hoping on Saturday that that it's a win, but only one loss. I mean, that's not a bad deal to start your season off. Yeah, that's great. That would be ideal. I mean, we still have one to win, and it's a tough one. So, but if you would have, you know, asked me before the season, if you have the option of going in with one or two losses, do you take it? You know, it's probably something that we're going to take going into break. It's something that we haven't done, and I don't think has been done here since like the 1930s at Ottawa. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. And do you ever talk to your players about things like that? Do they know these things, or is it something you kind of keep low to try to maybe make sure the ego doesn't inflate a little? Yeah, I think that probably coaching staffs go about it different ways, and we don't blow. I mean, that's the last thing we want is to pump them up and think they're good, but you want them to have confidence, so it's kind of a fine line. I think we've just been kind of rolling with it and having a good time and enjoying it. And I know Ryan Haskins, our starting two guard, the other day asked me what the school record was of wins, you know, because actually my junior year, 24, we tied the school record for wins. So I did tell him that, and he's like, all right, it's a goal for us, which I think, you know, is pretty cool. And having the chance to break records like, you know, all-time records at a school that has played basketball for over 100 years, I mean, you're pretty lucky to say that.
There's a lot of truth in that statement, but it also shows me that this team is they're not content. They want more. They want to bring more.
They do, and they're locked in. I mean, at practice we had a game yesterday, and they come in and they're loose and having fun again today and playing hard in our live drills. And I mean, that's been probably the biggest thing about this team, you know, in my 5 years, my 5th year back, that this team is just always locked in. And even when we haven't had good starts, it's not because we haven't been focused or ready to play. Maybe Avila, but that's the only game all year. It's just maybe we're not shooting it well and not executing well, but they have the intent to do it, so for sure.
So I have to ask, because of course there's the infamous video on Twitter with Coach Siebes being interviewed, and the players are doing some sort of conga line in the background. So whose idea was it, and how did that come about?
I wasn't involved in the planning of that, but I did see it live, and they actually did it like 3 times, and so I think it was only in 1 shot. And so I know that I believe Jaquan was in the front. I know Haskins was, Mason was in there. Haskins was in the back. So those guys you never know, because they all are super goofy.
Well, that's nice to have too, because even though you have to have some seriousness, it's nice to have a bunch of goofballs running around too.
It is. It's a breath of fresh air, from some teams that are serious, and it's still a game, and you're supposed to enjoy it, and you're supposed to love it, and this team, has shown that they can do that.
So the hardest question of the night for you right here then. Which group was goofier? The group that you played with, or this group now?
I think that it would be hard to top the group that I played with. It was some really weird stuff going on. You'd have to ask some, like our training staff who's been around. They talk about how weird this group is too this year. So it's a great question. And next time Coach Steve is on, ask him, because both are super weird.
So we will hold that one into the back pocket for probably the first coach's show of the new year, because I'm looking forward to hearing that response to see what he says.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure it will be a glorious response at that.
I bet it will. It'll be great.
Yes, because we all know this is Coach Steve's program, and he loves it so.
That's right. Very true.
Very true statement right there. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck with the game on Saturday. Have a safe trip up, because weather gets a little dicey, especially in that part of Nebraska. So
yeah. I don't think I've been up there without snow being on the ground, and this is my fifth year.
So yeah, be safe and bring home a victory.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I'm sure I'm leaving things out, but
yeah, that's fine. All of it, so it's all good.
Ditto, or whatever it is. That is Phil McClintock, assistant head men's basketball coach, joining us here on the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. We will take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk Lady Braves basketball. You're listening to us on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
It's late at night. You'd been visiting family and you're on your way home. You didn't see the deer in front of you until it was too late. Everyone is safe. Your vehicle did its job and protected you. Now you get to find out if your auto insurance does the same. It will, because you have State Farm Auto Insurance through local agent Keith King in Ottawa.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa or visit online at keithking.net.
From ooh to aww. Whatever reaction you're looking for this holiday, spread more joy with holiday cards, calendars, and photo gifts from Vistaprint. And now you can get up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars at Vistaprint.com. Discover cards in the latest trends or fill a calendar with your favorite photos. So make more merry at Vistaprint.com with up to 50% off all holiday cards and calendars. Plus great deals on photo gifts. Just enter code HOLIDAY50 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com. Code HOLIDAY50.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
The Pizza Time Hoop Talk show continues. We're at Pizza Time. We're talking Ottawa University Braves basketball, and now we're going to talk Lady Braves basketball. Is joining us is head coach Bruce Tate. And Coach, welcome into the program.
Thanks. Good to see you this week.
That just didn't seem genuine, Coach. Come on, man. I thought we were friends.
I'm very excited to be here.
That is, there we go. Yes, I'll take that one. The ladies, last time we talked, had the win over Bethel, and we were thinking, man, it's going to find that switch, and close game with Friends. A close game last night, of course. Avila got away, but, man, it just feels like they're right there. They're right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And in all those games, we were up, I think we got up over 10 on Friends, up 9 or so on Avila. Was up 9 on Tabor. So now we're getting some leads in these games. Now we need to learn how to play with leads. So, yeah, all tough losses. Avila's been playing pretty well, so we knew that we had to play extremely well there to get a win. But the other two games we thought were pretty winnable. So those were definitely tough losses, and they came down to basically one possession, and we didn't execute.
And that comes with experience. I'm continuing to learn game after game, but are the ladies mentally, are they frustrated? Or do they feel positive that, hey, we're right there, we can turn this around?
Yeah, that's what I really try to emphasize last night in the locker room, is that we were giving up in that really bad stretch over 80 points a game, and that was uncommon for our program and our defensive philosophy. So we felt that if we could give our chance just to be in games, then shooting wise, that's going to be, from night to night. Bethel, we were able to make some shots. We got up on Tabor fairly early and was making some shots. It's just when we come up with those empty possessions is where we're struggling at, because defensively, at least we're giving ourselves some chances, to get these games within reach of our offense.
Well, you bring up with the points scored. I mean, it's 6 straight where your opponents have been 68 or less. So it's not a defensive issue. The defense has been doing its job. It's just trying to, as you mentioned, that execution on the offensive side.
Yeah, and it's, there is, first, the most obvious is to make shots, but, executing on offense, that just comes with some timing and some chemistry things, so we're still working on that. Although that we have some returners, we just have kids in different roles. But we've got to execute a lot better. We feel that we're getting, decent shots at the right moment, We do have some really bad possessions that hurt us at crucial times. So we, as coaches, we got to find ways to get them in better position, and we just need practice time, and we won't get that until after the Christmas break.
Well, the one positive you can take away, though, with this offense is, and yes, 12 turnovers seemed to be a lot last night, but it wasn't the 17 that Tabor had. So, I mean, this offense doesn't seem to be making a lot of bad decisions or forcing themselves to turn it over. So there's some positives out of that.
Yeah. Like I said before, outside of the Friends game where we turned it over 24 times, we've been really fortunate at taking care of the basketball. So very pleased with that. That's going to help us, down the stretch and in some games. But shot selection at times and the type of shots that we're taking, if they're unbalanced or rushed or things of those natures, those are the things that are really hurting us, offensively.
Another good night from the free throw line for the ladies. 84%, 16 of 19. You take that anytime you can get it.
Yeah, definitely when you've been shooting in the 50s. So that was really good to see. We shot the ball well the first half. We didn't shoot it well the second half, and give credit, to Tabor, for taking us out of some things. And we're really predictable now, just with some of the things that we're doing. And I told the kids that you're going to have to go in the second, third options of our sets, and you're going to have a counter move to a lot of your stuff. And when we did that, we were pretty efficient.
And of course, one of the things that I think we talked a little bit about this last week was Mariah Grizzle struggling, and played well last night, 15 points, and was 6 of 10 from the floor. So it's pretty good numbers there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to see her get her going. That was awesome. Maddie, I think, got a double figures. Liz got a double figures. Guzman came off the bench, a freshman for us. He got quick 6 points there in the first half, was huge. But Avery struggled, so if we can get 4 of the 5 starters in double digits, we're going to be pretty happy with that. Kelsey is just, she's just not going to shoot the basketball, so we got to get her going too as well, and hopefully Jennifer or Caitlin off the bench can also produce some offense as well.
You mentioned about Kelsey's struggles with shooting. Is it just more of a mental issue?
Yeah, she's a team player. She's a true point guard. She wants to get her teammates involved. But at times it would hurt our offense because her player is a player that's doubling or sagging or things of those nature. So we're trying to get her to understand that hey, you're gonna have to just take shots to keep them honest. So as long as it's not rushed, as long as it's a shot within our offense, we're gonna be happy with you doing that.
Well, and that would add a completely new dimension in some ways, because as you mentioned, if you're predictable right now and they know she's not going to shoot it, you got to find a way to draw that defense up to her somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's one taking shots. There's some things that we do run for to get some looks and to get downhill. But again, she's just going to defer to her teammates first. So we have to put her in situations where she absolutely has to shoot the basketball. And if we can get 4 to 6 points out of her, man, that's gonna be basically a good night for her. So.
And of course, we've always talked a little bit about size difference between teams and the Lady Braves and offensive rebounds last night. It was the Tabor out and did a better job on the offensive glass. Is there anything that you can do as maybe a smaller size team to try to even up those numbers?
Yeah, overall our season average, we're pretty even on the rebounding, and like I said, with our size, that was a concern. Tabor just did a great job of crashing the boards. It was an emphasis. I told them the key things that we got to do against Tabor is keep them off the offensive glass, keep them off the free throw line, and make sure offensively we're playing to our counters. And we were able to do two out of those 3. Not down the stretch on the free throw line. In the first half we did. But down the stretch, when they needed some points while the clock was stopped, they got those because of our defensive breakdowns.
And but again, as we've mentioned, it's all fixable things, and that's I think that's the positive, especially going into the break, is they've got some time to maybe take a step back and think about it, think about what they've learned and process it a little bit more, so that when they come back, maybe it clicks and makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, making the change defensively here a few weeks ago, their mind is still turning. I'll explain to them tonight here in practice is that they got to understand that every team's going to bring a different set against our zone. And, we tend to match up, with different players in our area. So that takes tons of communication. And we're trying to build those habits from a communication standpoint and moving while the basketball is in the air and keeping our man principles but playing zone. It's difficult to do, but we found some success at it. We're going to continue to build on it. It doesn't allow us to work on some other things while we're building the foundation of this. But if we can continue to chip away at it game by game, week by week, then hopefully our offense then catches up with our defense, and hopefully we can even out here fairly soon.
Braves play York on Saturday, the final conference game of the year, or at least of the 2019 conference schedule, and we'll have that for you. It's a 1 o'clock tip-off for the ladies, 3 o'clock roughly for the men. Of course, we'll have the Fusion Alley Ottawa University Braves pregame show about 15 minutes beforehand. But we're going to take our final break right now. When we come back, I'm going to pose the same question to Coach Tate that I asked Coach McClintock. What is on his Santa's wish list for his basketball team for the second half of the season? Plus, we're going to find out what it's like wrangling around a ladies basketball team on the road and to stay in a hotel. And we're going to find out what it takes and how much sanity is lost maybe when we come back. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Let's face it, auto insurance can be confusing. Do you know your comprehensive from your collision, your no fault from liability, your premium from your deductible? After an accident is no time to find out that your definition of full coverage is actually different from what your policy says. Let local State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King explain auto insurance in terms you can understand.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa or visit online at keithking.net.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, a million questions flood your mind.
How can this be happening?
Am I going to be able to work?
What's a subtype? What do I do now?
We know.
We went through it too. But once you start to understand your options,
you can partner with your doctor
and find ways to face MBC on your own terms. Visit findyourmbcvoice.com and learn how to speak up and have a more informed conversation with your doctor.
Some questions have answers.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com to find some of yours.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you curl up on the couch in a fetal position and cry at cheesy movies, even though you've seen them 1,000 times and have all the lines memorized.
You and me, and also you with me, and you and I.
The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the tear-filled comfort zone you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
It's our final segment. Oh, there it is. There's the voice crack. I knew it was coming. I could feel it in the voice tonight. It was coming. That one's for you, Larson, back at the station. Finding the ultimate sports voice crack moments on Twitter or on the internet. There's one for you right there. Yes. We're back here to talk Lady Braves basketball with head coach Bruce Tate. And so I've got to know, I'm sure it's going to be, it's tough for the men's side to wrangle a basketball team full of men, along with a basketball team full of young ladies, and trying to keep everybody from going crazy in one hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it's an age thing, you know. I mean, if you remember as when you're a kid and you stay over somebody else's place, it's like the coolest thing ever. Like college, like when we go over these over-the-night trips or trips, they think it's the coolest thing to stay in somebody else's room that they don't have to clean up when they're done. So yeah, it's a big deal. And you know, most of the time when we travel to hotels, we put 4 to a room, 2 to a bed, and Coach Siebes and Coach Tate's going to be really nice to the kids, and they're going to sleep really well after week after finals and have their own bed and all that good stuff. So they're going to get spoiled, for one. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to get them to calm down once we get there about 9 o'clock, and it's going to be about bedtime. So it should be interesting.
Will there be a battle on the bus of which videos, which DVDs are being played?
No, not really.
Not really?
Not really. So we're bringing some old school stuff tomorrow. So we got the Goonies, Above the Rim, Love and Basketball, Coming to America.
Oh, now see,
So it's you know, these kids are going to be educated about some old school stuff. If you have that many hours, they have no choice but to watch, you know, some older stuff. So most of the time, Coach Siebes and I don't watch the movies, and you know, we'll probably still get some work done and still talk or still do our headphones, but they're gonna get a little taste of some back in the day stuff.
You bring up Coming to America. I would be tagging along just for that one right there. Yeah, I am sold. I don't care where we're going. You got Coming to America? I'm in.
You know they got part 2 coming out.
I am
August 7th. August 7th release date. So.
I am so excited for that. That is.
Most of the same characters are going to be back. So I don't know if Arsenio Hall is going to be in it, but I think most of these bringing all the characters back, and it should be pretty interesting. So.
I will be in line for that one.
Yes.
One of my all-time favorites right there.
Yep. So movie-wise, you know, I think we're going to have tabs on that. Our boy Jamie over there and Coach Butler, they've done a great job of bringing movies throughout the year so far, and they'll bring some, but the old school will have their little touch on it too as well.
Nice touch on that. And as Coach McClintock brought up, there's no reason now to talk about bus legs. You guys are going to be staying there overnight, so you get a nice night's sleep, be ready to go, be fresh, not a long bus ride.
Yeah, exactly. 10 hours in a bus in one day is brutal, but fortunate enough this game fell on a Saturday. Next year, this game falls on Wednesday, right in the middle of finals. So I do not know how that's going to turn out, but it's really going to hurt us. So,
what will the Lady Braves have to do on Saturday to pick up a win?
Defend. York is much better. It's crazy. Although they have only won one game, they're playing some really good basketball. They got some players. They really do. They got 3 kids that can score the basketball. The thing that hurts them the most is they just send teams to the free throw line. So we've been getting there, you know, quite a bit. We just got to knock those puppies down. So that's going to be crucial. Rebounding, they got a couple kids that offensive rebounds well, so we got to keep them off the glass. And then we just got to execute and not have so many empty possessions. So with the team that can score it a little bit better than us, we can't allow, runs by them. We can't have empty possessions. We're going to have to answer, you know, every other possession or so with the bucket or something beneficial.
Well, defense will be huge on this one. The ladies are really going to have to pick up some pressure when you think about, even though, as you mentioned, York only having a victory so far, they've got players, and at any point in time they can go off. So defense is going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a kid that they just got, 7-8 ball games ago. I'll put her up against anyone in a conference, one-on-one, should be able to get to the rim. The Diaz kid is back from last year, and she was their lead scorer. She can shoot the three, can take it off the bounce. They finally got a post player. That's the biggest addition for them, is that they got a presence on the inside that's not overly efficient, but gets the job done well enough to get some points. She could get to the free throw line and knock them down. So they got three kids that can play. So we're definitely have to be prepared and do the little things to make the big things happen.
What is on your list as a head coach for this team for Santa Claus?
Well, for Santa Claus, I mean, number one thing is, defeat doubt. Mm-hmm. I think we need to definitely defeat the doubt that we have, and see the successes that we have, see the progress that we have. They are competing, but we got to find ways to win ball games. So I want them I want some winning ways, So winning ways, winning plays, increased communication. I mean, how much time do we have? I mean, is Santa still preparing for Christmas, or is he on his way? Because the list could go on and on. But
well, we've got about 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and let's just say that he's still preparing.
Yeah, he's still preparing. All right. So just some mental toughness would be another thing. Basketball-wise, they just need to play basketball. They're great kids. It's been a fun team to coach. There's been definitely frustrating moments, but for the most part, they're not huge headaches, and you can live with that. But yeah, we got a lot of things. When you're only having one win and you're losing some close ball games by a few, just one or two possessions, then we have plenty things on our list that we can get to. We just got to focus on the ones that work for us.
Would Casey Weeder make a great Santa's elf?
Oh, perfect.
I could see him in the outfit.
Yep. So he'll probably still have something black and gold on. I don't know if it'll be the hat or the boots or something of that nature, but I guarantee you he'll still most likely gold. But yeah, he'll still have black and gold on. He won't be green and red.
And there will probably be some NAIA nugget that nobody will know about also.
Yeah, he'll pull something out. He'd be like, did you know back in 1979 on a Christmas break, the Braves came out and beat somebody by something? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure he's twirling, coming out of break. Something has happened before that we're going to do, that the men's team is going to do that he's going to know about. So
at this moment, there's probably the neck hair is standing up. There's a disturbance in the force, knowing that he's being talked about right this second, and he's just in the midst of preparing for Saturday. And hey, someone's talking about me.
Exactly.
I just want to see him in the elf's outfit. That's what I want, but that's just me. So. This is the final game of this portion of the regular season. You guys will have a scrimmage on New Year's Day to kind of get things rolling, and then you get back to work against Sterling on January 4th. So you don't exactly get to start the second part of the season with an easy one.
Yeah, it's like Merry Christmas. There you go. So that's a good week. That's a super competitive week. Johnson County. Number 2 in the nation right now in JUCO Division II, so they're going to give us a good look. And it's probably the look that we need going into the Sterling game, actually. So great guard play there at Johnson County, and Sterling has great guard play too as well. So couldn't set it up any better than that coming out of Christmas.
And hopefully they come back and are focused and ready, and everything that's happened so far, they'll take the positive out and be and be ready to rock the second half.
Yeah, you got to keep moving forward. So you can't go change the past. You can only learn from it, and we gotta learn from our mistakes and continue to get better. So bring it on.
Well, and I think with this team, you can see it, as we've mentioned. There's players there. And the coaching staff has done a really good job of laying things out. Now it's just trusting the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got some kids, Liz, and Maddie, and Mariah, have been able to score for us, and Avery shot the three well. Kelsey is, got the pace going. Caitlin and Jennifer's come off the bench. Collins, hopefully we can get her going here in the next semester. We just hope our younger kids get better. Our bench needs some help, so we're not that deep, and that hurts too as well. So we got some room for some improvement from individual players, and they got to find what's inside them.
Well, Coach, thank you for taking time out, and have a safe trip. Be safe going up and coming back, and we'll talk to you in 2020.
Sounds good. Have a good Christmas and New Year.
You too, sir. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget the final game of the of this portion of the regular season in conference. Saturday afternoon, 1 and 3 are the tips from York College in Nebraska. And Casey Weeder will have the call. He'll be in his elf suit getting ready for the holiday season, bringing you basketball action. We'll bring you Hoop Talk in the 2020 year coming up in January. Until then, thanks for joining and listening to us on 1220 and 103.7 FM.
Celebrating 70 years of information and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where